our chief guest, Professor Ganesh Ramakrishnan, leader of BharatGen AI and India AI Mission Ke Karnadhar, one of the most distinguished academician of India and one of the most influential AI personalities of the world.
The Honorable Chancellor of Doon University and Honorable Governor of the State of Uttarakhand, Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat ji, the Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Professor Sureka Dangwal ji, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Doon University, esteemed members of the Executive Council, Academic Council and the Court of Doon University, faculty members, the very, very proud parents, and most importantly, the graduating students of Doon University. It's my great pleasure to be here amongst all of you at this momentous occasion. I would like to share with you all that I've been very eager and excited to be here because of several reasons. The first and very important one is that Uttarakhand is Devabhumi, land of the gods. And this is due to numerous Hindu temples, pilgrimage centers found throughout the state. It has the Kedarnath temple built in the 8th century AD by Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya, Badrinath, Gangotri and Yamunotri. I was very fortunate several years back when I was mentoring at IIT Mandi. I came all the way to Uttarakhand just to continue the experience of Devbhumi from Himachal Pradesh to Uttarakhand. I've seen, and several of us have witnessed our Honorable Prime Minister at the Kedarnath Dham, deeply absorbed in meditation, setting an example of sadhana, ripening inside out that all of us need to follow. Which mango is better, a mango that ripens outside in or inside out? You all know better, right? So he sets this beautiful example. In my couple of interactions with the Honorable Prime Minister, I've also seen such a wonderful listener. Again, a characteristic of one who's blossoming inside out. The second reason was that I was really inspired by our leader, veteran leader of Indian Army, none other than Honorable Governor Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh ji, who is the constitutional head of Uttarakhand, a Himalayan state that shares its border with Nepal and China. Again, he is an amazing listener. So, day before yesterday, as our Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam explained, he was engrossed in listening, setting a great example of what a student should be. In fact, in Sanskrit, we have actually the same root for both learning and teaching, Adhyayan, Adhyapan. Unlike English, where learning and teaching are very different, here Adhyayan, Adhyapan are very closely connected because you are a lifelong student. And thank you, sir, for setting such a wonderful example, teaching us by your example. The third reason is that Professor Sureka Dangwal, who's leading Doon University and is actually well known at the national level for amazing contributions. For example, drafting the Uniform Civil Code, which has been implemented so far only in Uttarakhand. Again, my heartiest congratulations to the Uttarakhand government and to our Vice Chancellor Madam for helping instrument this so wonderfully. Her leadership and vision have created an environment that encourages exploration, creativity, and excellence. And a testimony to that is the myriad of awards and recognitions that we saw throughout today's convocation. Because of our leadership, Doon University is also associated formally with IIT Madras through the PAIR program of ANRF. Very proud to hear about this. We have also been very impressed with Dehradun, which is known because of the presence of very high quality education imparting schools. I've myself interacted with so many wonderful secretaries, including the director at India Mission currently, all of whom have either studied at Doon School or benefited from the programs at Mussoorie. The last but not the least was that I wanted to connect with all of you and speak to all of you who are graduating today. Again, a round of applause for all of those who have graduated today with flying colors. My dear graduating students, this is a moment of triumph, a culmination of your hard work, dedication, and perseverance. As you embark on this new chapter, remember that the world awaits you with opportunities and challenges. Now you will enter the real world. And yes, there are challenges because of artificial intelligence, but there are also opportunities. Question is, किस दृष्टिकोण से आप देखते हैं, right? Whether you see it as a challenge, as an obstacle, or as an opportunity. If you stay true to your swabhava, your swadharma, it's actually opportunity. With this context, I would like to draw your attention to the opportunities and transformations with all of us participating in it, how we could witness Bharat through the lens of transformation that AI has the potential for. BaratGen stands as an example of not only commitment from the ground level up of amazing scientists, professors across 9 academic institutions, dedicated engineers, but also the leadership at the top from the Department of Science and Technology and the Ministry of IT, the Prime Minister's office, the entire government backing it. As Professor Dangwal mentioned, BharatGen has been a recipient of rupees 988 crores under the India AI mission from the government of India. So during the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'll focus on the imperative of sovereign AI for securing India's future through the BharatGen ecosystem. Some of you might not know, but DeepSeek, which made in China famous in the AI space specifically, had its seeds sown 15 years back. So ecosystem creation takes time, takes perseverance, and takes foresight. As an example, at BharatGen, we have our CEO, Mr. Rishi Bal. He spent 25 years in the US. He was at Carnegie Mellon University, at Google Research and Microsoft, and came back, right? Example of what we call homecoming. Our Vice President, Dr. Manish Singh, was an IIT Delhi graduate, spent more than 3 decades in the US at top universities, was at UIUC during his PhD, and is back as our Vice President, Machine Learning. My humble journey, I did my bachelor's at IIT Bombay, Department of CSE, and while all my batchmates went to the US largely for studies or job, I was also eagerly awaiting a career through a PhD at the Carnegie Mellon University, Pittsburgh. And actually, that's when I met 2 very important people in my life. Two important people inspired me to make a transformation. And one was a professor at IIT Bombay who, through a course, kept asking, what is Indian about Indian Institute of Technology? Sir, nobody asks such hard questions to us, right? BTech को कोई पूछता नहीं ऐसे प्रश्न. What is Indian about it? Is it just in India or for India? A second person was my spiritual guru, and I told him I plan to go and study and come back. And he told me, everyone says like that. सब बोलते आएंगे वापस. That really made me change my decision. I decided to pursue my PhD at IIT Bombay. In fact, after my PhD for a postdoc, I was to go to the Bay Area, the US, and I again went to my spiritual guru and expressed to him. And he said, what are the options you have? I said, well, one option is in the Bay Area. The other option is in Delhi at IBM Research. He turned to me, smiled, and said, I would suggest you go to Delhi. It is close to Vrindavan. California is too far from Vrindavan. That's a frame of reference. दृष्टिकोण, मैं बता रहा था ना, दृष्टिकोण से फर्क पड़ता है. हमें लगता है कहाँ वृंदावन है, कहाँ बे एरिया है. But when your entire career, your perseverance is anchored on Swabhiman, what it has to offer to the world, what it has to offer through compassion, not through a mood of exploitation, you can actually be a solid change maker in that process. So the pursuit of artificial intelligence, starting with the team that I talked about, is fundamentally linked to the pursuit of national sovereignty. We must begin by understanding that sovereignty is not just from a political sense. Chanakya, in the Kautilya Arthashastra, he talks about sovereignty as focus on the welfare and happiness of the populace in a functional sense. And as Madam rightfully pointed out, it is AI by Bharat, right? That is sovereignty. And that brings me to the functional sovereignty aspect. which is the crucial capacity to translate strategic national intent, which is the what and the why, into effective operationalization, the how you do it. Achieving this independence requires mastery over four key components, which are technological supply, which is about controlling the hardware and the software, economic independence, which is funding the domestic AI, infrastructural independence, which is controlling the computation and data. The data and computation eventually needs to be homegrown, and data needs to reside in India. And the fourth is cultivating indigenous knowledge systems and expertise. Sovereign language models, therefore, can help create this virtuous cycle of these four components. And they are central to this mandate, offering the path to achieving strategic autonomy and accelerating national innovation while ensuring that AI systems remain sensitive to India's national laws and policies. One of the very critical areas in functional sovereignty is defense and strategic autonomy. To gain a decisive strategic advantage in this complex environment, India must develop its own sovereign LLMs. I encourage you to watch my talk at Swavalamban 2025, which is India's flagship defense conclave, a month back. From my discussions with the NSA Shri Ajit Doval ji, the CDS General Anil Chauhan ji, and the CNS Admiral Dinesh Tripathi ji, effective defense applications are impossible without deep, collaborative co-design involving academia, industry, and defense stakeholders to seamlessly integrate the necessary domain-specific knowledge. This co-design approach is vital in advanced systems like coordinated drone swarms, where successful execution of very complex missions such as chasing a dynamic target necessitates co-designing communication algorithms with the model's interpolation and mapping functions, for example, SLAM. And the AI-driven cyber defense LLMs offer this big picture required for robust protection by translating natural language queries into executable queries across diverse databases. India has already demonstrated success in this area, including our work on development and deployment of award-winning intelligent camera systems in collaboration with several naval dockyards in the past. This path forward requires establishing a unified defense industry academia ecosystem, and that's why BaratGen is set up as a Section 8 company, a not-for-profit company, to ease collaboration with academia as well as industry. Co-developing is extremely important by design. Now, in terms of the path, the core mechanism for realizing this vision initiated at IIT Bombay, the first seed funding came from the Department of Science and Technology of 235 crores, which is very important to acknowledge because the science and technology seed underpinning BharatGen is what made it come so far. Now we have 1,000+ crore funding from the India mission for spearheading culturally sensitive AI research to help meet India's strategic goals by 2047. I talked about a team that we have built. We have 50+ engineers from top companies, Amazon, Samsung Research, and so on. But we also developed the capability to train on thousands of GPUs and now touching 8,000 GPUs. We helped boost the ecosystem by working with India data centers, work with Indian vendors for data as well. So it's really about bolstering the entire ecosystem around you and not just running a silo. The 4 pillars that are very critical to make such an ecosystem survive and thrive are: 1, the view of large language models as glass boxes and not black boxes, because that's when you exercise control. That's when you can actually tune them for your advantage. That is AI by the society. The second aspect which helps look into the future is research. Right? Research based on the glass box view, based on the recipes you have, because this research can help bring better human-machine collaboration. From there on, you go to the fourth aspect, the fourth pillar, which is data sovereignty. Diversity as a strength rather than a source of confusion. In fact, it's very important to highlight that while we have diversity of languages in India, they all enjoy a very important integral unity. All of you have heard of mixture of experts. A mixture of experts, which DeepSeek made famous, actually this multiple thoughts, multiple divergent I would say, perspectives, at the same time, their convergence in the fact that they are rooted in Bharat. Languages having diverse vocabulary, but integral unity in their structure. This is our strength. Our diversity can be our source of defense, at the same time, recognizing that integral unity can be a source of resilience. Based on this, we have been actually building out several applications, whether it's Krishi Sati for analyzing crops, for helping create co-pilots for farmers, integrating text, speech, and document vision modalities, or whether it's about ensuring that we have water governance for better management by translating complex citizen queries about water access, searching for government APIs and reports, and generating data-driven intelligence, or going further, as I said, making sure that the large language models are fundamentally built on the integral unity of Indian languages. For example, inspired by Panini's Ashtadhyayi, we employ a method of understanding or morphologically grounding the tokenization of Indian languages, leveraging their unified suffix representation, and also leveraging the fact that Indian languages do enjoy the same word order. When we say Ram aam khate hain, right, it is a subject, object, verb. All Indian languages operate on the similar structure. But moment you go to English, Ram eats mangoes. It becomes subject, verb, object. Right? So this difference is very important for us to also acknowledge so that we can leverage our integral unity. Last but not the least, we stand at the cusp of a dramatic paradigm shift from artificial intelligence to artificial general intelligence, because these systems possess the potential to seamlessly fuse dynamic data streams from sources like drones, LIDAR, and so on, and create cross-pollination across vastly different scientific domains. They can accelerate discoveries, solving problems in hours which could otherwise take months or even decades, and synthesizing completely new materials. We must remain sensitized to the fact that AI, however, is a double-edged sword. It carries the potential to either erode national sovereignty or fully restore it. It's not about we using AI products. We may become the AI products ourselves. That's why this double-edged sword is important to acknowledge. The immense power of AGI necessitates stringent human-in-the-loop diligence. Control must be exercised not to stifle innovation, but to carefully guide it. Ultimately, sovereignty is fundamentally about agency. The goal for India is to develop AI to dramatically expand the horizon of possibilities and reclaim agency at every level, economic, political, and epistemic, ensuring that this powerful technology is built upon indigenous values and ethos. To fully realize the vision of 2047, we must embrace a whole-of-nation approach, requiring sustained, deep investment in research and robust lateral collaboration across government bodies, academia, and industry. And that's the seed that was sown with BharatGen. Again, I'm very honored to be with all of you. Let's work together. Let's cut boundaries. Let's work as a whole of nation to realize the 2047 vision. Thank you very much. Namaste.